Okay, so I'm just go ahead and start the stream now.
Alright.
All right. So, well, here it is. I think the real interesting thing about all of this is that, any writing RPG is technically the first ever format I ever used on this channel. I
Oh, is
just
that right?
Yeah, I just kind of moved it aside over the times and do some let's plays, do some miscellaneous reviews, create the actual play RPG. But yeah, this is what I started out doing. I started out writing my own lore.
Oh, that's really impressive.
I mean, it didn't. Uh, so it didn't occur to me later that maybe I could be doing news. Maybe I could be reading tabletop manuals, and that's something else that's pretty original that I want to bring. Is that I want to, I think a lot of people have tabletop streams. I don't know if as many people actually have rule books. OS Devin says huzzah in the chat, which he's well known for doing. So let me huzzah back, but I'm going to use Chester because I need to do that test. I don't know if necessarily anything happened there. Anyway, it's going to cool down now, and then we'll just have to give it another try later. Okay, let's go ahead and hit the video. So Devin in the chat is saying is that right now he's not hearing any audio.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I don't know. Hey, Game Night,
What was
can you hear
happening?
us? You can hear me. I can.
Yeah, I can hear you and you can hear me.
Yeah. Well, I mean that pretty much just means that the audio is working. I mean, I also thought that just on offhand that I might have accidentally not switched my audio over to the contained audio that I use for streaming. Sometimes that just likes to switch to default on me.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh well. Well, welcome to Twitch, where everything is made up and the scuff doesn't matter. All right.
Can they hear us though?
I believe so now. They can now, yeah. Might have been an issue with the music video too, but I'm just gonna have to fix that later.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, let's go ahead and let's head over to the main screen. Let's get this episode started. Okay.
Yes, sir, Mr. Brainy.
Mm-hmm. So, hello there, cats and kittens, felines and felidae, humans and variant humans, and every race, class, and subclass. Welcome to another edition of Brainy the RPG Cat. Tonight we are going back to an old standby. Well, I just felt at the beginning of this year it was really, really important for us to start working on something that we've had on the back burner far too long, and that is, the manuals that we had intended to create based on one-shots from the Meowing Portal Season 1.
Yep, our books.
And so
along with building up what's yet to come.
Yeah. So when Kyubey was, ages ago, Kyubey had done the very first stream about this alongside me. It was the first time that we ever collaborated on a non-actual play show.
Yep.
And so, for the past, 2 or 3 episodes, we've also been working on a different kind of collab. We've been working on VTube Studio collabing, and we did 2 or 3 episodes with that. The second one fell a little bit short, unfortunately, and we suspect that that's because we were also trying to run the... we were trying to screen share OBS at the exact same time that we were streaming, and that basically just ended up capping the RAM on Kyubey's computer.
Yeah.
So we're not going to make that mistake again, but then this gets a little bit harder because, then it's just going to up to other people in order to bring up their own screens. It's BYOB, bring your own browser from now on.
Yep.
Okay. So let's just take a look at this article really quick. Just going to go over the most pertinent stuff really quick, and then we can start getting to the sections where we want to continue writing.
Yep.
So we're introducing, some of the information that we're going to bring up in the first episode of Season 2 of One Shots from the Meowing Portal. And yes, I did decide that was going to be the first episode. Mostly due to the fact that Kyubey has done a significant amount of writing on it, so, I just want to that's probably the most developed thing from Season 2 so far. And so we're introducing a new realm that's going to go into the Barron's Wasteland folder. We're calling it the Realm of the Old Gods.
Yep, gods. Everybody believes one. It's impossible to not believe in one in realms like this. But do we flinch at that? No, we do not. This is fantasy.
Yep.
So we go with whatever.
Mm-hmm. We know the gods. We've met the gods. We've become friends with the gods. I mean, it just so happens in this situation, we met the gods in one realm. We met their mortals in another realm, and now we've just come to the realization that both of those two areas come together.
Yep, a place where the gods and the mortals can intertwine under certain conditions, of course.
Mm-hmm. And so we've envisioned this so far as being something akin to ancient Greek realm, bedecked in clouds and with a giant Colosseum, where the gods tend to duel each other about everything under the sun.
Yep. When you're a giant primordial gods more akin to kaiju than anything else, you're bound to have all your even your smallest issues come down to being solved by fighting.
Mm-hmm. All right. Yes, we're well over in my neck of the woods also. Oh, well, Devin and Game Night are having a chat. Telling each other, hey, I hope you're well. So yeah, I'm glad that you guys are all doing well with each other, and you guys are getting along in chat as well.
Yeah, it's great to see it.
All right. So, introduction. Today I have what is a simultaneous honor and horror of discussing with you one of the most unique environments in the multiverse. One that would not have existed if it weren't for a handful of cataclysmic coincidences. In short, the Barron's Wasteland is a completely wild and unpredictable realm, which was created through a surprisingly logical set of occurrences. This book would be much better written by the unwitting creator of this realm, the arachnid warlock Kyubey. However, as he doesn't possess the ability to write fully, it falls on me to commit these concepts to paper. I'd like to say that I'm blameless in the development of this realm, but I regret that quite the opposite is true. The Barrens, as we know it, comes to us due to my erroneous belief that this was an area completely bereft of life, and therefore a prime area to train one of my young proteges, the aforementioned Kyubey. As with many of my teammates, Kyubey came to me with a dream to spread influence of an obscure prehistoric god known as Mazelthad. Wary of the re-emergence of a cave god, I allowed Kyubey to use the inert barren wastelands as his own personal playground. We traveled there, and that is where the fickle finger of fate sought to begin picking our noses. As it turns out, the supposedly unpopulated Barrow Desert further southwest of this planet's lone continent had but one occupant, a rage domain magician by the name of Thumbless Beatrice Comecrackle, and we were shocked to learn that she was the only other member of Kyubey's species to even exist, a species that she coined as the Arthrophae. It was initially Beatrice's plot to abduct Kyubey and guard him jealously, as they were the last two of their kind. However, following a bit of busy business with a whole army of zombie exoskeletons, we reached a compromise wherein Beatrice and I would share mentorship of Kyubey, and I allow him to visit the realm a few times a year. At the same time, I also released a former archenemy of mine, the life domain sorcerer tortoise named Lord Terrapin, into this realm, on his wish to cultivate the existing desert sand into rich flora. As time passed, the elements of these three players began working independently of each other, made the Barrens grow extremely rapidly. Kyubey's presence increased the prominence of the goddess Mazelthad, who thrives on influencing wild evolution and growth. Beatrice Comecrackle's magic resulted in the creation of several vicious insect hybrid creatures which roam wildly across the lone supercontinent in a kill-or-be-killed fashion. Finally, Lord Terrapin continues to greedily expand the overgrowth of the woods ever northward as a means to grow his own personal kingdom. Nevertheless, the Barren Wasteland exists, and as a Denarian wizard, it remains my responsibility to define and catalog its existence. Therefore, I commit to writing the existence of one of the most coincidentally created realms in all the multiverse. I did add a couple of paragraphs on how to use this book, but it's also just the same paragraphs that I was using in the Realm of Infinite Mana, so I don't have to go over that one again. This is the first paragraph that we have about the new area. Finally, we describe the realm of deities, which exists just above the Barren's Wasteland. This motherhood realm, which we refer to as the realm of the old gods, contains the pantheon of gods, demigods, and other beings familiar to civilizations on the supercontinent below. These gods have cultivated an ancient but wise civilization steeped in a culture of near-eternal combat, frequently played out in the giant cloud-based coliseum that invites gods and mortals alike to settle all manner of conflicts by way of strength. Hello, is there a way to give both Brainy and Kyubey head pats? Well, let me see. Let me just do a really quick test here, because I actually think that both of these might be temporarily turned off due to the fact that this is a collab. Because I probably,
I'm really
yeah, unfortunately.
I'm really sure Kyubey would love head pats, though.
Anyways, thank you very much for tuning in, Marin Mermaid. Welcome to the stream tonight, where we're talking about the lore that we eventually going to want to put in the Barren's Wasteland manual. Womp womp, yeah. I don't know. Well, we can definitely see the scars when it comes to this stream, but we're doing something vastly cooler. We're actually collaborating, sharing.
Yes, sir.
Sharing a VTube studio with each other.
Sure are.
Says, I've never understood entirely why my hotkeys don't seem to work when I am in collab, but that's something I'm eventually going to need to figure out.
Yeah, it'll just be a later problem.
So I wrote a lot about the biome because I was writing a general introduction to the Barren's Wasteland, and these books, all of the introductions are written directly by Brainy, so this is definitely in my own voice as I read this section. The environment of the Barren's Wasteland at times defies explanation, as would any prehistoric civilization reborn into an era within the span of a single year. The reason the realm is even named the Barren's Wasteland is because it was considered a completely uninhabited realm by its discoverer, Baron Archibaldius Pinfeather, one of the founding archwizards of the Library of Dyna. However, it was very recently revealed to us the true nature of the realm once the warlock Kyubey, one of its various far-flung denizens, returned to the realm. What this entails is still up to debate. Was the rediscovery of the Barrens by its dominant species a result of this random incursion? Did the presence of archaic beings such as the hag Beatrice Comecrackle designate this as a destined event, or did the deities that existed far beyond this realm, in the realm of the old gods, finally put aside their personal conflicts long enough to see the reemergence of this key species? The facts that we know so far are what we achieved in this book, with the hopes that future Denarian anthropologists will, one day, be able to provide reasonable and logical explanations for the events that seem to make the current iteration of Barron's Wasteland spring up seemingly out of nowhere. Environment. The realm of the Barron's Wasteland is portrayed in the Dimensional Atlas in the form of a single rounded planet composed out of 85% water, which was dubbed by the Denarians as the Oceans of Circumference, and a single supercontinent, additionally referred to as the Barrens, which stretches from north to south for a total of 14,000 miles across a single flat plain. This is a new concept that I'm going to be introducing. The Dimensional Atlas is effectively a concept wherein every time we go to a dimension, it may or may not be a planet. It may be like the realm of the old gods. It might just be like a few buildings situated on top of a bunch of clouds. Just any kind of form that a reality and or really just a role-playing environment can potentially take. So, in short,
it's really interesting.
Yeah, in short, they don't dimensions don't always have to be planets. So, let me see. Where was I? Theoretically, this would be considered to be the easterly landmass, but considering that the Barrens possesses no north or south pole, this can't be the explicit definition of the land as it exists on the planet's surface. Additionally, the supercontinent has only one yearly seasonal cycle, where the lone continent is bathed in tropical heat for 7 of its 14-month rotation. The remaining 7 months are spent in a colder, more temperate climate. It never snows in the Barrens, but it rains occasionally. It never snows in the Barrens, but it rains constantly. Okay, that's the correction. Especially during monsoons that occur roughly 4 times, coinciding with the forest solstice season present in the continent's surface. These solstices are referred to as the time of high sun, the time of mid-sun, the time of mid-clouds, and the time of high clouds. And your guys, and Kyubey, you're free to change that one if you like, because I just wrote those down. So that we would just, a placeholder for solstices. So, well, yeah. I mean, are you about to give a suggestion?
Yeah, pretty much. The Barrens also happens to have like more than one moon, yet only one sun, in which these moons actually appear at certain parts of the day. Is some at the same time, in certain areas, but the only time where all three are together at once is right at midnight, like the cusp of the in-between of day and night.
Mm-hmm. All right. So, yeah, this is something that I'm probably going to have to add in a sentence in the next paragraph. Once I read it, then you'll probably clearly see where it's going to need to go.
Yep.
Excuse me. While the planet possesses a lot of activity within its molten core, particularly through several large geysers and volcanoes situated in the center of the Barrens, lone forest and swamp, there is very little tectonic activity on the surface. Earthquakes only recur as a result of an especially large volcanic eruption, and the tides only react to the phases of the planet's 3 orbiting moons, Duke, Marcus, and Viscount. The nature of this clearly characterizes the Barrens, seeing as a true tectonic event would surely split the supercontinent into numerous smaller entities. The lack of earthquakes also supports the continued building of various intelligently designed structures, including skyscraper-sized insect hills both above and below the surface of the planet's crust.
Yep, the lack of any natural earthquakes means that if you do feel the earth shaking, that's not natural. That's not a natural occurrence, and most likely is that there's one of the many super predators of the Barrens Wastelands running amok.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's probably something else that I can put in for flavor text. Sometimes earthquakes occur because of very large monsters. So you can clearly see after that section of Duke Marcus and Viscount, you can write in a part about the way that the moons rotate.
Yep. Yep. Pretty much due to the extreme nature of the supercontinent, you can never really tell which flora, fauna, and sometimes both flora, fauna will be capable of. of
So Game Knight asks, how many of these other insectoids are intelligent? Well, basically, the insectoids who are part of Kyubey's race are the intelligent
yeah,
group.
the Arthrofae are pretty much the only other humanoid level intelligent and insectoid things in the Barren's Wasteland, and everything else is basically just like animals. Or even though some are more intelligent than most, they are still like mainly animals. Like think of something like a dinosaur, or
Mm-hmm.
yeah, something like that may be smart, but it's not like make a computer smart.
Mm-hmm. All right. So I think everything else was from the previous update that we had set to all of this. But as Game Night is curious about the Arthrophae, I definitely want to start doing a rewrite of just this one paragraph that we had put as a placeholder. This one goes like this. The Arthrophae have long gone unnoticed before the exploits of Kyubey has brought its species back into the limelight. Their brief and few records in time are mere fables and myths of creatures that can take the form of any being they choose, and known to be anywhere in plain sight. So, something that is no longer accurate about that is that we are kind of scaling back the shapeshifting abilities in order to make them just a little bit more adaptable, as opposed to them being full-fledged shapeshifters. So,
Yep, it's not really much shape shifting. It's more or less this illusionary camouflage
mm,
as
yeah.
it's
Um,
like incredibly advanced camouflage to where you would think it's shape shifting, but no, it's just the camouflage so advanced that well they can pretty much mimic whatever or like thing that's close to their kind of anatomy they could think of it, but they've at least seen them.
mhm. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start retyping this. In the meantime, QB, if you want to, start putting things in anywhere else in those sections that we just read, then, let me know if there's a time that you want me to scroll up to something that you've just written.
All right.
Mhm. Okay.
Hey,
So, first thing, we actually need this to be descriptive. So, the Arthrophae are the and first point that you had brought up are the lone, self-aware, and intelligent species in the Barron's Wasteland. Okay, they are species evolved from insects. Maybe there's a. Let me see if I can come up with a slightly better version of that. That were derived from the insect life in the environment. Although that's a little bit of a stumbling block too. Marion Mermaid says BRB phone overheating. That's a shame.
yes, you just hate it when like your phone is working so hard it pretty much becomes like a fresh shot the toaster or like a toaster strudel.
Mm-hmm. Game Night 00 asks, do other members of the Arthrophae possess an equal ability to do that super camouflage? I'm going to say yes.
Yeah, in fact, it's pretty much a staple in all Arthrophae. Pretty much what makes the well, pretty much more than just like something like an animal folk. Like if you like an animal well, that's pretty much like walking housefly. It's different than that. For instance, well, like Kyubey's appearance was even his like default appearance might not be his original, well, like from birth appearance. And so, since he was raised for like his entire life by a well giant spider, and around that sort of influence has caused him to change his appearance to well what we see today.
Okay, so what type of insects do the Arthrophae um, originate?
Well, pretty much anything that's pretty much classified as an arthropod. Really, you see, not all bugs are exactly the same sort of thing. Like there's things like insects, arachnids, so whatever the hell you want to call centipedes. It's like all sorts of different things. Like if it fits like the description of like an arthropod, then that can pretty much be Arthrophae, as in the name.
What? Well, they're capable of resembling many insects and possibly and a few species of arachnids. Due to another prominent feature of their species, extreme adaptability. Or lobsters, it's possible.
Yeah,
What is a
possible.
lobster? A lobster is a what? A mermaid to a cockroach, something like that.
Yep, essentially.
And so
So,
the
like, if there was like some kind of variant of Arthrophae that grew up that like lived underwater, then yeah, it's possible that there could, in fact, be a lobster Arthrophae
mm-hmm.
just living like Larry.
Uh-huh. So at this point, um, probably the one thing that we're going to skim with in all of in this whole chapter would be what goes on in the ocean, because we all know
Ooh,
that
yeah, the ocean is still like, huh?
the ocean is considered to be like the birthplace of all evolution on any other planet. So you gotta imagine that there's got to be something really big going on in the Barrens Ocean, even though all the land creatures were just something that were zapped into existence by Beatrice Cone Crackle.
Yeah, pretty much the result of that evolution and evolution being manipulated by a magical energy, pretty much surging throughout the land. And it's by both Beatrice and the resurgence of Mazlothod.
Taking on any form
And even
that
so, well,
they.
like the ocean, there are only like a few monstrous creatures that have been documented that do come from the water, and those two things are known to like come on shore like in various different kinds of scenarios. Because you'd imagine like a giant centipede like the size of a brachiosaurus is probably not does probably not lead to like any less unpleasant things like under the water's surface. You probably recognize that like even if you probably stepped a toe in the water, you'd probably like, just like sign your life away.
Mm-hmm. So just writing a
Yeah,
few more.
Megalodon is probably the least of your concerns here.
I mean, yeah, we already got the sharks on the land. Is that there's got to be something way more scary in the ocean.
Yeah, not to mention they could swim through the earth like everything is just turned all up on its head around here. Pretty much everything is like whatever goes goes.
So, in short, the Arthrofae are capable of taking on any form that they choose, at first by making use of an advanced form of external camouflage. This allows them to mimic the traits of plants, animals, and other intelligent beings. Most often used to protect themselves from any immediate danger. What is additionally notable about this ability is that some adaptations tend to stick. Some adaptations tend to immediately remain on the Arthrophae's physical body if they become useful in the long term.
Yep, that's pretty much like even if two Arthrophae are the exact same like kind of Arthrophae, if they live in in places in different ways, they might look completely different.
So, for example, if it becomes necessary for an Arthrophae to have wings to survive in the long term, they will eventually grow them.
Yep, and on the contrary, if it's most advantageous to be able to climb around on walls, then within like a certain amount of time, it will be able to like walk around, crawl around on walls as if they're nothing.
Mm-hmm. So these
and this includes like more visual aspects too, such as their skin or whatever kind of carapace exoskeleton they have, such as Kyubey, since he was raised in such dark environments like deep caves. He has pretty much become like pitch black when it comes to like his actual skin.
Yeah. So, I think mostly if we were to write that down, that would be, exclusively placed in a character sheet about Kyubey.
Yep.
Yep. I mean, I can also make a mention of it here,
Yeah, and the fact that, like, the mimicking isn't just like the appearance. It also kind of goes down to the voice, along with like memorizing certain noises.
Cave-dwelling albino Arthrophae can use their camouflage to appear on, let's say, appear above ground for very long periods of time. And if they so choose, may permanently adapt a... Whoops.
I'll get that.
So, I had just seen that, I think that you just temporarily blinked in and out of,
Yeah, I did just temporarily blink in and out of connection.
Yeah. I mean, so, that only happened, well, this time that only happened in, VTube Studio. You didn't just log out when it came to everything, including the Discord chat.
Yeah. I think that was just a little hiccup. Anyway, please continue.
Okay. May permanently adapt a carapace color that allows them to remain in the sun. So earlier forms, earlier primitive. Okay, so I want to write something about how the Arthrophae were like before they were brought back following Kyubey's arrival. So okay.
Yeah, I'd say many earlier Arthrophae looked rather similar, but not too similar. Like they're not just clones, but still not nearly as adaptive as they are now.
Mm-hmm. So what I was going to say is that many early Arthrophae were scarabs, and that's kind of accurate to the way things are in nature. Is that
yep.
There are more species of beetle than there are most other animals in the entire animal kingdom.
There, in fact, are.
Mm-hmm. Many early Arthrophae took on the form of various scarabs, which allowed them to survive the desert-like environment of the early supercontinent. Following their extinction at the hands of a malevolent ice god, Izatan.
Yep. Well, oh boy, you're probably gonna have hell just typing out that name. You're hardly even able to pronounce it or write whatever he is like around.
Yeah, I probably got it wrong.
I could fix that. Like, yeah, you just keep going. I'll fix it up.
So many of the insect exoskeletons remain buried just beneath the surface of the sand. While these in the actual game, we call them cicada skins. I wonder if we should keep that.
Yeah, they were called the cicada skins.
Yeah. Various scabids and cicadas. Okay.
That probably also tracks, like, nature stuff.
And so this cicada skins is something that's going to be added to the monster section.
Yep. Pretty much the main staple of the Marrow Desert.
While these cicada skins are often dormant, it doesn't take long before some particularly well-skilled necromancer sees the advantage of animating them to their own devious ends.
Yeah, pretty much in the Barron's Wastelands, the cicada skins are essentially what would be the exact same of like the zombies or skeletons walking around. Like in the first like Barron's Wastelands episode, well, like these things are pretty much just heading right into Rainy's like magic wall. Yeah,
So,
pretty much flatted like, well, bugs on a windshield. Or probably crumpled because they probably don't have bug guts at that rate.
just a shambling boneyard out there.
Yep, or in this case, exoskeleton yard. Hence the name, Marrow Desert. Even though I really doubt like exoskeletons have a marrow in there. Like, bugs are weird, okay?
So, once Kyubey returned to the realm, it was soon discovered that Arthur had evaded the Ice Age brought forth by Azeton.
Aizeton.
Mm-hmm.
And don't worry, I'll get this. Yeah, there it is. Just copy paste.
Yeah.
That's probably like the best plan. And like.
Yeah, the first was Thumbless Beach's Comb Crackle.
Yeah, pretty much. That's a Miss Comb Crackle.
Mm-hmm. A wasp. Was it a wasp or was it a hornet?
A wasp.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like, wasps are just, like, wasps absolutely fit, like, the vibe of, like, this cranky, angry, old bug lady.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm fairly sure it's a universal fact that everybody thinks that wasps suck.
Mm-hmm.
Like, their only existence is to make life for everyone else harder. Everyone knows that.
Desert name is Marrow Desert. Continue to dwell in the... A wasp Arthrophae who continued to dwell in the Marrow Desert.
Underground hives.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, in the underground hives. In defiance of Izeton's will. The second was the centipede, like Arthrophae, Vanessa, who through underhanded means was transported to another realm.
Yeah, specifically the realm where Brady's kind of live.
Yeah.
They have like pretty much fairy tale talking animals.
Mm-hmm. So it was transported to the realm of the realm of the Pure Tongue.
Yeah, realm of the Pure Tongue.
Mm-hmm. Before the realm was destroyed. So we have scarab, wasp, centipede, and arachnid. Possibly also lobsters and crabs. What other types exist?
Well, there are things like flies. There's ants, of course.
Mm-hmm.
There would also be things like dragonflies.
So I think we had pretty much established that the ones that we had encountered in the Barron's Wasteland one-shot were all ant types.
Yep. Yep, so, they were all like ants, I do believe.
Okay, that's something I'm
either that or termites. Either one.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to have to throw that one in there. An entire of ant Arthrophae was discovered. Living.
Yeah, it seems like that small pocket had been enslaved by Izeton.
Ground caves. Was discovered living in underground caves. though they had regrettably. Well, maybe let's skip regrettably. That's just an awful verbal tick of mine.
Yeah.
Yeah, although they had still remained, although they had been captured. Yeah, although they had been captured by Zayten. Um, and used as his personal slaves. They have since been freed and have taken to partially living on the surface.
Yep, and also they pretty much said Kyubey is a prince now, so yeah, he's pretty much technically a prince as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like, guess I'm a prince.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Their savior, Kyubey, as their first royal as their prince. Okay. Let's just put it that way.
Yep. Yeah, the entire, like, pretty much the entire, like, external, like, part of the hive was pretty much destroyed in the process. It's like the overwhelming strength of the provided by the shackles of evolution, and which were being used by both Kyubey and Aizuten at the time.
Yep.
Also, the survivors like the like of Primistera are also like staying in the bear is too in like some kind of a refugee camp.
Mm-hmm. And so at some point, I'm going to have to go to the manual, and I'm going to just come up with a quick build in Prowlers and Paragons for the Arthrophae. And so probably easiest to say that they innately may have they innately shapeshift. They have a choice about having stingers or wings or
Venom or no venom,
etc. etc. Okay, so I'm gonna leave that there for now. You want me to highlight anything that you've been working on?
and not really.
I mean, it's just as useful to me that you're here and you're just listening to me as I'm writing these things down.
Well, I like working together, and like it's been a while since I was like last writing in here, so yeah.
We added like 2 or 3 sections of those of that paragraph, just by talking back and forth.
Essentially.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to go to is I'm going to be jumping around a lot, and that's really just the way that I tend to write. Just very, very bare bones outlines followed by really long improvised paragraphs like the one that you just saw. Okay, so
yeah, but I'll pretty much be adding on the meat and potatoes to those bones with like pretty much explaining complicated lore.
Mm-hmm. All right, so Brainy's introduction to the realm of the old gods. Sometimes,
Yep.
And so this is written a slightly more offhanded than it is technically because this is just kind of adds.
Gods are more like kind of subject to anything except of course like the fact that there are in fact gods.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So sometimes it becomes difficult to distinguish one realm full of deities from another. And that's his introductory sentence there. That is certainly the case with the realm of the old gods. The pantheon of gods directly Well, I mean, Pantheon says gods, so. Yeah, old gods. The Pantheon directly linked to
more
the Barrons.
primordial.
More primordial.
I'm thinking since more typical gods are more, or I don't know, well, these old gods are still meant to be somewhat Lovecrafty, with what they are.
Yeah.
Or but not really to the extent of horror, but still really abstract and stuff.
Yep. So yeah, that's probably something for a later paragraph. Just remind me of that as we get past this one.
Yeah.
So suffice
directly linked to the Barrons of Wastelands and other realms of the like.
Mm-hmm. Suffice it to say, we did.
All at it.
Yeah. Suffice it to say, we Denarians knew about the realm ages before we discovered any anthropological information. Yeah. I know that's misspelled. I'll go back to it in a second. Before we discovered any anthropological
explanation,
information.
Yeah, that
on
works.
The Barrons. Originally, a realm populated by human gods whose civilization
was lost to the sands of time.
Yeah, was lost to the sands of time.
Yep, we don't exactly know what happened to them, but what we know is they're pretty much gone.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much to pretty much bare bones describe it, their old home is now was pretty much found by the biggest head honcho god, the god of light, and decided to make it a realm for the other old gods.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, pretty much have restored it to some degree with some other new construction.
They were all just killed off randomly by some guy by the name of John Kratos.
Of course it was Kratos. It's always him. Whenever gods die off, it's always him.
God of War canon in our universe.
Yep, he's canon. It was specifically him. He didn't even directly go after the god. Here, he just sneezed and they were suddenly wiped out.
Mm-hmm. It is now occupied by the deities among the deities worshipped by the Arthrophae, because they are the only intelligent species.
Well, they're gonna be other monster races, but we'll get to that eventually.
The numerous deities worshipped by the Arthrophae and have taken substantial advantage of the weaponry and gosh, what's a way to describe a coliseum? The weaponry, architecture. I mean, I might as well just say architecture. Oh, that was left behind.
Oh, yeah.
Well, let me make that a little bit more tongue-in-cheek. Architecture, parentheses, and weaponry.
Yeah,
Okay.
I like that.
Okay, so this is where you're going to need to help me, at least as far as, specifics go.
All right,
Well,
all
hey,
right, all right.
not just yet when it comes to, very specific characters, but... So, I'm going to
Yeah,
put down
not
the
the
sentence
characters,
here.
like the realm itself and how things work.
So, the...
All right, so I play like the center of the realm houses the link like some kind of fountain involving like windows to like other worlds that allow like different champions to be able to return there or using a certain type of ritual.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so the deities of the realm follow an order of, well, I mean, order is part of it. Follow a strict code
Tradition?
of, well,
code.
Yeah, code of
Trial by combat?
well, order versus chaos. All right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
This should probably mention like how the gods like tend to like counteract each other.
Yeah. Okay, so let's follow up with that sentence. The next one I should say is, therefore they have a tendency to engage in
Destructive conflict?
extramortal combat. In various forms of. Therefore, they have a tendency to engage in various extramortal combat. Various forms of.
But look, it automatically like look the like the autocorrect thing was trying like to make it K, like Mortal Kombat.
Yeah. To engage in various forms of extramortal combat, settling any petty argument. With a show of strength over their fellow deities. Indeed.
Yeah, the main way they do like the main way they actually manage to like make sure everything is mutual and like there's no hard feelings is to have like their champions or whatever like chosen vessels of their respective gods in their domains fight each other. Or in the styles of like a gladiator tournaments that happen once every couple of years.
All right, so indeed, the fortunes and favors of every mortal being on the Barrens, in the Barrens, comes as a result of whichever deities comes as a result of whichever deity is currently the dominant one. It's like a horoscope.
Yeah, but that title has pretty much been held by the god of life for like an incredible amount of millennium.
Yep. Is currently the top dog. Not really the most clever way to put it, but it certainly sounds like something Brady would say.
But you, yeah, and technically it does still count somewhat literally because dog spelled backwards is God.
Mm-hmm.
Top God.
Well, let's make that a joke. I mean God. Oh, look at what you made me write. All right.
Maybe like illustration, like that, like dog could be like somewhat scribbled out, and like have a God like be like afterwards as if it was like totally didn't write dog here.
Mm-hmm. Many mortals also ascend. Let me scroll back up. Okay, so just give us some more room. Many mortals have a tendency to ascend. Many mortals ascend to the realm of the old gods. For the simple reason that
Of
they
fulfilling
are,
whatever their deities have for them to accomplish.
as avatars.
Used as
Read not really cannon fodder.
puppets.
Pawns. But still, yeah. I mean gladiators, but something slightly beneath gladiators. Assassins. Not assassins.
Maybe backyard boxers.
Wow, that's going straight to the bottom.
Okay. Maybe. Yeah.
Well,
Like,
let's just say combatants.
Yeah, that probably fits.
For the battle starved deities. Many of these ascended remain in demigod form. As the gladiator and are used as the many of these ascended remain in demigod form and are used as the personally trained gladiators of one of the gods proper.
Yep, these these ascended may what the ascended are like to do on a regular basis may depend on like which god has command over them, or like if there are any specific purposes that affect a certain god in general.
It's also become the duties of the demigods to hold domain over the barons. And it is them who often shape the land, ocean, and sky. Often with the assistance of
each other,
mortal avatars of their own. This is where Kyubey comes in.
Kyubey is
Kyubey is the vessel of Mazelthad. Mazelthad is the demigod who is attempting to reshape the wild.
Yeah, pretty much to reinvigorate the place with life again. And which was probably with the gods thinking that it was probably like too boring for them to be doing anything specific with there yet.
So there it is. It's hierarchy all the way to the bottom.
Yep.
Okay. This is probably where I'm just going to end the letter from Brainy. Then environment.
Yeah, pretty much pretty much what the only thing that seems to be visible of the place is like a giant mountain, which serves as some resemblance to like the tales of Olympus, but the top is never able to be seen.
So, in much the same vein as the Barrens, the realm of the old gods. Gods appears in the dimensional atlas as a very abridged piece of land. Specifically, it takes the form of a mountain. Mountain bedecked with classically built buildings, resting atop a spherical marble slab. Surrounded at all times by clouds. Okay, there we are.
All right. I think weather is pretty much a non-existent and up there.
Yep.
Or and there's no real sun or moon. It's pretty much just like always clear skies with clouds around.
And at times can at times be the catalyst for a storm as dictated by one of the gods.
Yep, the most notable bursts of sudden weather, or it does happen, can happen when certain gods are currently locked in direct combat. The ones who do this the most often are the gods of the land and the depths.
So, weather and natural disasters often occur in the Barrens, simultaneous with battles, between two deities or demigods of the earth and or nature.
It's hold on. Oh, wait.
Well, simultaneously.
Oh, yeah,
they just want me to use the proper grammar with that.
Yeah, or at least the system does. Otherwise, they'll put those annoying little squigglies under everything.
Say, despite being a realm in constant warlike flux, it is often quite peaceful on the surface of the realm. Clearly, the gods are so well. Maybe I need a synonym. I'll just use
the gods
again.
probably clear the deities still see themselves in high regard.
Clearly, the deities have become so fixated on formal means of combat that unrest never happens directly on the streets.
Yep, they tend to keep things like that private when they can. Yeah, yeah, sometimes things are held by trial.
So, something that you had given as a suggestion slightly earlier about how the three moons point directly north at midnight. I like to think that maybe the three of them are actually directly above the realm of the old gods when that happens.
Ooh, yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
Mm-hmm. Day and night phases occur at the same time as they do in the Barrens. The stroke of midnight, particularly, is designated by a moment in which the Baron's three moons align with each other. In a vertical line with the realm directly beneath all three with the realm directly beneath all three moons. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
All right. Various three moons. I gotta get those names again.
One's Duke.
Duke, Marcus, and Viscount.
Yeah.
Duke, Viscount. I've clearly forgotten the middle one. Duke, Duke, Marcus, and Viscount.
Yep, there it is.
Okay, yeah. Le Mojus. French for the right word.
Oh ho ho! Baguette!
Lemon juice? Yeah, why not?
Yes, lemon juice.
I use a little bit of it, but you know,
As well, add some sugar and you get some lemonade.
My throat has been a little dusty lately. I don't ever think to get citrus fruit. I usually just drink a lot of herbal tea.
Yeah, I just use a glass of water.
Okay.
Alright, now maybe this is like the fountain of paths. Paths? Like, maybe?
Yeah, alright.
Yeah, it is like pretty much a hub for like things like their vessels and gladiators to come to a throw with a little issue. All right, so
that characterizes. The Fountain of Paz
is a large fountain in the center of the realm that serves as a link to all of the followers of said gods, in which they can and arrive at the realm with little issues if their deity so commands it. Like, the fountain is mainly used by champions like Kyubey.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yep, and the way to pretty much get there using the fountain paths is to use a certain ritual, which requires some certain herbs like drawing a big ol' like magic circle, and which is important, into the blood of a said follower, or that will be using the fountain.
All right.
Yep, and pretty much with pretty much that blood will pretty much become more water-like, and through that portal will be the fountain of paths on the other side.
All right. Just jotting down some quick notes for that section.
Huh?
Oh, that's what I was just typing. Rituals, special herbs, blood sacrifice, blood like water. But everything that you just mentioned, I'm going to put in a later paragraph.
Oh, all right.
All right. So that allows it to, for between the material plane and transport, is a fountain in the center that allows the gods and demigods to transport here between the material from the material realm. Okay. The access to the is gained by finding its counterpart in the mortal realm. And undergoing a ceremony where the traveler uses a special combination of various herbs and provides a sacrifice of their own blood then transforms into the water of the fountain, and the traveler may ride that flow into the center. To the center of the fountain. Then,
Alright, that works.
As secure as this all sounds, the means of traveling to the realm have become part of a few local legends, and several mortals from various realms have used the legends to find themselves here.
Yep, most of them being unsuccessful. Yeah, but still, as extra security, like the gods have taken measures to ensure that no outsider has managed to get in and cause trouble.
So,
in which even the appearance of of unwelcome mortals may be warrant into for or there's said trials set up for more mortals in which they will too also have to participate in trial by combat as in order to win in their freedom. And if certain cases like involving like regular trials are of case including in which the methods of how the mortals came there, or the battle will be more or less like tipped against them or tipped to aid the as it chooses.
Are added to the deities war games. This is how I translated that. Often these mortals are captured and executed for encroaching on the land, but particularly worthy-seeming ones are added to the deities' war games. With the promise that they will ascend if they're victorious.
Yep, these trials are pretty much held and performed by the twin gods of war, or which who are also accompanied by the god of peace in order to keep things as fair as possible.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so that seems to be a good description for the fountain.
Yep, essentially.
I mean, so do you have another particularly important landmark that we can highlight here?
Probably the Colosseum.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Pretty much that's probably going to be the main staple with how they love combat.
Yep. Okay, around... Gosh, I think there was a specific name for the type of building that the Colosseum is.
Hold on, like, let me see here.
Greek.
Type of a building.
Amphitheater. Okay, that's what it was.
Yeah,
okay.
That's it.
Mm-hmm. Sonar AF. Good day. It says good day. Thank you very much for tuning into the stream. So,
yep, good to see you.
Yeah, Kyubey and I are here writing some of the lore for our tabletop RPG. Oops, I'm on the wrong tab. Okay. Say around amphitheater.
It should probably be emphasized that these things can be massive.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, this thing is probably like really big in order to like contain like things like the gods.
Mm-hmm. So, this one so far is only really about 6 pages long, and the Realm of Infinite Mana is 14, because I've written in that one on my own. Round amphitheater constructed of pure marble. And designed of multiple large stone archways. It is really just a Greek. It's just a Greek Colosseum.
Pretty much, but like triple XL the size, and probably with like even more like fancy stuff on it. Like if it wasn't in complete ruins.
Mm-hmm. Embedded partially into the large mountain that makes the most northern landscape of the okay.
Yep, that works.
Okay.
The Colosseum could have been built by the God of Ages and the God of Ironworks.
Yeah. Was again built by an ancient god, but adapted. by
yeah.
the gods of the realm.
Yeah, mainly
so
the two of ages is to preserve and strengthen what once was, and Ironworks to expand upon on what was already set.
yeah, so I do have a slightly different idea about that.
Oh
I
yeah.
want to say that there's a good chance that that might be a myth, and it's the god of ages who simply makes the claim that he was the rightful inheritor of the Colosseum.
Ooh, yeah, that could be like another thing that two gods bicker about often.
Mm-hmm. It is claimed
Yeah,
by.
plenty of rumors. Like one saying like the god of ages built it, another one saying that the
Mm-hmm.
yeah god of ironworks built it.
Uh-huh. So I'm putting in the hyphens here, so maybe you can put the names in.
Yeah, I'll do that like when I do come up with names for all of them.
Uh-huh. It is, well, maybe it's, well, I shouldn't say it is claimed by just yet. Both the, both Blank the God of Ages and Blank the God of Ironwork um, claim this, claim that they were the birthright inheritors of the Colosseum. One of a million unresolved conflicts among the Pantheon.
Yeah, there. I don't think you could ever like finish a list on like the amount of conflicts that they've had, and a lot of them like pretty much blown out of proportion. And, like I'm fairly sure they probably would have like caused a big old war that destroyed continent. It's over like who took their lunch.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, there are like actual mythological gods that have done works.
Mm-hmm.
So
So, despite current its current ownership notwithstanding, its current ownership notwithstanding, it is nevertheless considered sacred ground by all the deities. So many bad gods feels weird, man. I mean, this is how they used to do it up in Greek and Roman and.
yeah, and a lot of times like yeah, especially with these kind of gods, like Lovecraftian level gods, they just like don't really understand or care about morals or stuff. If they just do, like if their domain like covers like something like light or death, they might be like more explicitly like more good or evil like appearing, but overall they're pretty much just it's like empathy. What's that? Like doesn't really make sense. I would just still
Yeah.
do what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm. Is that everybody may make a claim? Some of them are pretty weak.
Yeah, pretty much a lot of gods are like this in multiple pantheons. A lot of them just bickering over the smallest things.
And frequently, it is here that the various gods engage frequently in battle with the prize, typically being a new treaty or claim of land ownership. Between the two disputed, between whichever two disputed parties.
Yeah, pretty much whoever wins decides how the conflict ends. Like if you claim, like if one deity is claims that the other or god took something, probably did took something took an eighth or donut, but then after the fight, if that said god wins, the god who loses will have to provide the winner with said donut that they claim they are owed. But that's pretty much a gross understatement.
Yeah. The gods seldom but do engage in these battles themselves. And still, and opting to choose a champion among a stable of demigods or encroaching mortals. To do the battling for them. What else is there?
Yeah, pretty much the demigods are pretty much have the more higher or gladiator tile. Well, the pretty much encroaching mortals that they've captured are essentially just slave fighters.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it really is just gladiatorial.
Yeah, essentially, but still, it's more how it's seen by outsiders.
Yep.
Yeah, I'd probably add that one of the most prominent god-on-god conflicts was the attempted usurpation by the god of death.
The winning champions are frequently rewarded by their own patron. Usually given additional dominion over the land of the barons or its people.
Yep, that's essentially how it worked.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the losing champions are frequently returned for additional training. To their native realms for additional training. But a truly grievous loss is also punished by death. Oh, can also be published by can also.
Yeah, can mainly more grievous losses is usually pretty much being in timeout from such roles of a demigod, but if that said champion already has several strikes, then yeah, you're pretty much getting sent to the gulag, which is essentially where the god of death resides.
Okay, let me expand based on that. Either by death or exile to the realm of blank, god of death.
yeah, maybe that could replace like punishment by death because
Yeah.
it's more or less like you're not saying being like punished by death, but it essentially is punished by death.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it's not like it could be like temporary, but yeah, as I said, like that could be permanent with enough strikes.
Mm-hmm. Um. Okay, and then. Okay. Say, mortals rarely witness. Oh, suddenly I had a font change just from being at the bottom of the page. Mortals rarely ever witness battles occurring in the Colosseum. Oh, Arc Shadow Storm, Small Dragon Raid. Thank you very much for raiding with a party of 2. How are you guys doing? Hello,
Yeah, good to see
friendlies.
you. Thanks for the raid.
Thank you very much, everybody, from for coming in from Arc Shadow Storm stream. So, oh, I think yeah, our usual clip screen has been turned off, unfortunately. But well, we still got the follow menu. Oh no, we actually have to use a different command for that. I forget about that. Arc
Oh yeah.
Shadow Storm. Let's see if we can pull up a clip.
Stand there.
There we are.
Censoring.
Oh, look at somebody out there punching an Elden Ring.
Employees. You can't call yourself.
You gotta love punching an Elden Ring.
My fist craves violence.
All right.
I cast fist.
Do a bow.
Like imagine like every time you say like so it all says, man, that's the only spell you have.
Mm-hmm. Well, cast iron. The iron is on my gauntlet.
Yep, it's particularly on my hip, which can it's pretty much a gun. Like that's what I mean by cast iron.
Arc Shadow Storm says I cast dragon on build. Of course you do. So
yeah, of course you do. Who wouldn't?
So, of course, anybody who's come over to the channel, my name is Brainy, I am a cat, I am incredibly intelligent, and I like to write tabletop RPG material. Frequently with people who are also participants in my One Shots from the Meowing Portal, my actual play RPG, like Kyubey over here, who is has been a
yep, that's me.
Longtime friend, longtime player of my RPG environment. So yeah, thank you everybody for coming in one more time. You guys are fantastic.
Yep, thank you, folks.
It's good to meet you. It's good to meet you too.
Yeah, good to see you.
So where were we? Mortals rarely ever witness battles occurring.
Yeah.
Though they, although many have been caught in the crossfire between two demigods, engaging in a bit of dirty pool outside.
Wait, dirty pool? What does that mean?
Dirty pool. Let me pull up the translation. I think it literally just means bad billiards.
Oh.
Yeah. Unethical, fair, or unsportsmanlike conduct.
Oh,
so,
yeah,
in other words,
sportsmanlike.
Effectively demigods that are traveling from realm to realm trying to kneecap the other one.
Yeah, pretty much like gods that are fighting like outside the realm, like unofficially, like seemingly doing things that's like against like all the other gods. It's like that's seen as a no-no.
Utilizing other multi-dimensional means to engage in. Oh no, I've already used engage.
Partake.
Engage, partake.
Initiate.
Are you writing an adventure? Yeah, I'm writing an adventure. So, um, based on the first season of the actual play that we've already completed, which is called One Shots from the Meowing Portal, we're writing 2 game books. One of them is called The Realm of Infinite Mana, which takes place in the core environment and also serves as the basic player's handbook. And this one, The Barron's Wasteland, which is the first expansion book, talks about a very specific pair of realms that are linked to each other, and also just an enormous part of the storyline. And so, if you would like to
Yeah,
see,
you can also imagine it as like the first like things that really expands on like certain kinds of monster. Whereas you can see, feel like and also or in like around the wastelands, you can pretty much visualize it as being like Jurassic Park and Monster Hunter and Skull Island, and pretty much all of them like combined and on crack.
Mhm. So if you do want to see, yeah, the 12 episode first season One Shots from the Meowing Portal, that's over on my YouTube page, youtube.com/@Brainy the RPG Cat.
Yeah, subscribe to Rainy.
Mm-hmm. Oh, also, I see that you had redeemed head pats. I'm going to see what I'm going to be able to do about this.
Hmm.
I don't know. Um, oh, there it goes. I just need to make sure I turn off menus before I start doing QuickTime events. There we go.
Yeah, essentially.
I can do head pats for myself now.
Yeah.
Now I gotta figure out how to do interactivity between players. That's gonna be my next step.
Yep, that's gonna be the next big step. But hey, that'll be dealt with later.
Oh, we had one way back from Mermaid as well. Let's just do that one too.
Yeah.
I'm not just using this as an excuse to give myself extra head pads.
Yeah, that's fair.
Alright. Uh-huh.
Alright, where were we?
Mm-hmm. We're looking for another word for engage.
Um. Uh.
Fight outside. Well, just to fight outside of the rules of the Colosseum, of the rules set by the deities. Set by the deities.
Yeah, by the. I'll pretty much handle the whole grammar stuff, so that like the stupid like autocorrect it just has to do.
So I'm gonna head out. I'm gonna need to eat. Have a good one and have fun with your adventures. Thank you very much once again for tuning in. Our
Yep, see ya. Hope your food is yummy.
We appreciate that. I mean, it's always great to get a raid, but also it's great to get a raid from brand new chatters. So thank you very much. Okay.
Like maybe like the punishment for gods who, well, like attempt foul and unsportsmanlike like a means of attacking another god, another deity. Maybe he is stripped of their title of gods, and pretty much like the last thing like with champions pretty much kicked down to the god of death's timeout.
So, well, demigods who are caught in extraneous combat are often returned to mortal form. And exiled in their home dimension. Although this is circumvented a lot as well. So yeah, that one's just kind of a little bit of the legal loophole issue that's going on in this realm.
Yeah, still gotta have that like tied up.
Mm-hmm. And it is also, maybe it's redundant to say it again, but this is the reason why immortals eventually learn about the realm.
Yeah, pretty much.
Mhm.
Although, they would probably be seen as just like old loons, loons or like
No.
crazy people or whatever.
These
Or-
are the
then
people
again, like,
who talk about Fight Club.
yep, it's them.
Mhm.
Yep, and and you know how they keep, and you know that's what, and you know why nobody talks about Fight Club. It's because you're gonna get kicked out into Eldritch Satan's locker room where it's like the same kind of thing. It's like with the Flying Dutchman threw Squidward into like that temporary nightmare or portal.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, I don't think there's anything else that we can say about this. Of course, we can always come back in it later. So now we are going to talk about the Pantheon. Probably only have a few minutes to do this.
The deities in question.
So, yeah, so we're only gonna have like 10 minutes left in stream. So, however you want to do this, if you want to go to the bottom of the screen with your cursor and start putting individual names up there.
Well, pretty much put like the domains of which the gods have.
Yeah.
And we'll build off of that like from the next episode or like whenever we have the time, really.
Yeah. Or you can just come up back to this whenever you have spare time and add to it.
Yep. So there is life, the harvest, pretty much like things involving like nature and crops.
Mm-hmm.
Truth, the death, the deaths. I never really know how to pronounce it.
The depths. I mean.
Yeah.
PTH.
Ages.
P diphthong. That's what it is. The depths.
Yep. Ideals. Chaos. The skies. Alright, let me see here. Light. Rot. The land. War. Darkness. Death. Ironworks. Peace. And destruction.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, there's pretty much the domains.
Uh-huh.
It's like...
I mean, eventually, yeah, we'll just have, the names of the gods and then a paragraph under each one.
Oh, 1 second, I forgot one more. And order.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, there's that.
And god or goddess, or depending. I wonder if there's a general neutral term for god. Let me Google that one really quick.
Go ahead.
Uh-huh. Our word for the design absolute is Brahman, which is grammatically neutral, not gender. Is beyond all body and all form. I mean, there's a good one. Gender neutral title for Lord is liege. Some interpret God as neither male or female. It's just we're just dealing with the Roman, the Romanesque, the Romanji, as it were.
Yeah, Rome, which is essentially like Greek, but with just a few things changed. Like, hey, can I copy your homework? Okay, but should make sure that it doesn't look exactly the same. Hmm.
I mean, then there's just all the theologians who says, even though God has no gender, is still referred to as he. Oh, brother.
Yeah, maybe
Oh,
we should just go maybe something like the Lovecraftian route. Like,
mhm.
what's gender?
I'm good with it. I mean, divinity, deity, celestial. Some of the thesaurus words that we've been using in order to write this.
Yeah, pretty much.
Hmm. I mean,
Yeah, I'll come up with some kind of thing
he, him, she, her,
for
or
like kind of coming up with the names.
yeah, he, him, she, her, or entity of.
Yep, he, it.
Mhm.
Yeah, pretty much. Sometimes they.
What was that one line from Dogma? I am,
Dogma?
I am from the one who says that I am. And I think that was a
Huh?
line borrowed in the Bible by Moses. Dogma is that Kevin
Oh,
Smith
yeah.
movie where the two angels come down from heaven. I mean, it could
Oh,
also
like,
just
I haven't
be,
really seen a whole lot of things like that.
oh, you are so young.
And, honestly, pretty dumb. Like, I don't think I could have the brain cells in order to, like, really, like, understand, like, too much of, like, religious stuff in the first place.
You don't have to worry about it. These are only things that are here to make me feel young.
Oh, yeah. So I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah. Oh, Kevin Smith movies. Dogma's funny. Oh, it's
Who?
a goofy movie anyway.
What? Who's Kevin Smith?
The guy who created Clerks. Gosh, it's even hard to think.
What?
What is a more recent movie he made that millennials know a lot about? He's the guy who owns the comic book store in the AMC reality show Comic Book Men.
I don't know that either.
All right, Jay and Silent Bob. Well, if she doesn't know Clerks, then she doesn't know who Jay and Silent Bob are, Devin.
I also don't know that either.
No.
Like, if you name anything, like, this guy is probably not gonna know it.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead.
I hardly even pay attention to things like celebrities or what even happened and to stuff like that unless it's really scandalous. Like it's mainly just like I don't even like pay attention to things like music artists. Hell, I like most of my favorite songs are just mods from Friday Night Funkin', and like I don't know genres of music. Like I just listen to something that thinks, hey, like this, this makes my brain feel good.
Mm-hmm.
I would just like have save this with me so I can listen to it whenever. That's pretty much my like sole rule for anything like involving media. If I like it, then I will like and know quite a lot of things about it. But I'm still incredibly dumb when regarding anything else.
Yeah. I'm gonna quit while behind. I'm gonna suggest that Devin in the chat does the same. Alright, well. That about eats up our last 5 minutes. So, thank you everybody once again for tuning in to Brittany the RPG Cat. Thank you to OS Devin. Thank you to Game Night 00. Thank you to Marin Mermaid. Thank you to Art Shadow Storm for the raid. You guys are all fantastic.
Yep, thank you all.
Thank you for supporting us.
Yep, super good to see you.
As we just go neck deep in our own lore.
Yep. And also side rants being caused by our own lore.
Mm-hmm.
Like sidetracking.
Absolutely.
Doing some side quests.
So yeah, this was a lot of fun. This worked out pretty well. And so the lesson learned is that we can't use Discord screen share and VTube Studio at the same time.
Yep, that's pretty much the main lesson.
Alright, so it's time to do a raid. Let's see, who would we like to pay a visit to? I believe that we have...
Who's online then?
Well, Eldritch Grandpa, Soulstone VT, Confetti the Clown.
Let's do Eldritch
Shelly,
Grandpa.
too well. Yeah, let's go over to Eldritch Grandpa. Right now, they are in the middle of playing a game.
Yeah, it fits a lot with like what we're talking about, like old gods and stuff, like Eldritch stuff.
So yeah, right now they're in the middle of playing Outlast. And let's do the SO before we go on to that channel. Alright. Oops, I think I added an extra colon to that.
Yeah. Yeah, but how fitting for like talking about gods to go from right from like talking about like whatever kind of references, some kind of movie about like evolving like Kevin what's his name like evolving this kind of thing, and right to like straight up horror, religious horror.
Oh, I'm not putting
Outlast.
in the T. That's what I'm doing. You can't have Eldritch Grandpa without the T.
Hello, Daddy. You're digging the dad bod. You're digging the flames. You're digging the genie pants.
Yeah.
And you want to hug it.
I want to hug him, but yes. Oh, the tattoos. The arm tattoos are. Oh my god, I love those.
What are your thoughts of putting?
Oh wow, the thirst has been trapped in this one.
Please, just please, like a watermelon.
Fine.
I'm into it.
I mean, I think that's supposed to be a VTuber. I originally just thought it was the Pokemon Urshifu. But I digress. Alright, folks, let's go ahead and let's head over to Eldritch Grandpa. Thank you once again for tuning in. Remember, B-R-A-I-N-Y means smart. Nothing's too hard if you use your head. Always be the change you want to see in the world. Have a good night, everybody. And thank you very much for watching.
Yep, good night. See you around.